Let's just do it. Hey everyone, Dave from Corso here with my Chicago Corso mug with our Ignition Explained special guest star,
Alex from Corso.
You know, you're getting really good at this. It's like we do this.
I might have to drink coffee at some point.
Oh man, I think you've actually drank coffee on a video before.
I don't know, I drank water last time. They had the squeezy thing in it. The Crystal Light flavoring, yes.
You didn't tell us.
Oh, yeah. Sponsored it.
So, again, an unsponsored video, but if you guys would like to sponsor this, we love money and swag. Bill? Ignition Explained, we're talking about Edge licenses, and so there are three parts to an Edge license. There is the Edge panel, which we're going to talk about first this time. There's the Edge Enterprise that typically goes kind of hand in hand because it adds additional functionality, but you could use alone. And then there's the Edge MQTT, which we are pretty sure comes and correlates to all the MQTT stuff from the folks at CirrusLink.
Yeah.
And so, Alex, would you like to tell us
so
what's
starting
the Edge
at
panel?
the complex, you have an Edge panel license, which gives you, it's essentially a small vision client type system, where it gives you 7 days of historical data. It gives you vision clients, and with one like full-blown client and a web-enabled like mobile client essentially. And that would be geared towards, you have a pump station or an OEM piece of equipment, a skid you're going to sell, and you want to include an HMI at a low price point.
Yeah, it's like $1,500.
So I would give you screens, would give you access to be able to do trending and control a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Or put it out at a remote pump station or some remote location that is maybe going to have intermittent communication drops, and you want to be able to operate that if the network goes down with the main gateway, and you'll get your data back up, or then you can get your data available elsewhere. Then you use the enterprise module, which I believe those come as a package. The panel has enterprise with it.
So the panel is one, I believe it's $1,500. The enterprise is a second, it's $500. When you get a package from Corso, it's going to be a $2,000 list price, and it will be the combination of both because we use both of them when we typically institute something.
Yeah. So the Edge panel, the panel gives you the screens. The enterprise would allow you to send your data from that gateway up to a master gateway.
Yes.
So that would be back. It's the Edge version of enterprise administration.
Yeah, it has the EAM baked into it.
Yeah, and it works with the EAM module up at the master gateway. And that'll allow you to sync your data, get tag values up at a master gateway. Basically, it's an enterprise module for an Edge system. And when you combine that with the panel system, then you can control your equipment and get that data elsewhere.
Yes.
And then you can, if you get it back up to your master gateway, you can have your data for longer than the 7-day period that you would get with just the Edge license. Then, if you're working with an MQTT-enabled device, like an Easy Automation PLC we did a video on, or
linked below,
any sort of the instrumentation that has MQTT, anything that works with the CirrusLink stuff, you could use the MQTT license similarly to the enterprise license to get data back up to a master gateway via MQTT.
Now, we haven't used this one yet. It's relatively brand new as of taping of this.
Yeah, and I don't know that a lot of our customer base, it would probably be very useful for like an oil pipeline. Yeah. Where you're going to have a bunch of PLCs, and typically we're working in larger facilities that aren't using a lot of Edge licensing from the get-go. But we're finding it as a good, cost-effective way to get failover. And in case your network goes down, you can still run on an Edge license with the limitations that it has. Just as something to keep in mind. Yeah. So, but we haven't used the MQTT yet, but we have used quite a few panel and enterprise combinations, and those have worked out really well. Yeah. And it's also, if you want to do a demo system on a Raspberry Pi, Edge is a good solution for that, because it doesn't have the full capability of an Ignition unlimited license, or I don't know what you would necessarily call just a regular ignition system.
Like the Edge, it's very much like
Like
the
Edge
old,
is different than the regular one. But I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
if
very much like what the old single client licenses used to be,
Mhm.
but there are a couple of caveats. One, it's obviously limited to the particular panel, and originally it had a 500 tag limit, but we've removed the 500 tag limit. It is now unlimited, and there is no native database connection. And that's kind of the big difference between those. And then, like, designer-wise, does it all look the same?
Pretty much looks the same. It doesn't have gateway scripts. It only has client scripts, which is something
Yeah.
we ran into. And there's a few other limitations, but basically it was the main ones to be aware of are the database and
Yeah.
the gateway scripting. So if you're typically using a lot of gateway tag chain scripts and gateway events, you need to do something differently on an Edge license. And it basically has the modules that it has. Like, you couldn't set up an Edge panel with the OED module.
No.
But if you're at that level, you're not looking at an Edge license to begin with, because
No.
you would then need the database access and all that.
Yeah. Like, it is what it is. And most of the time, if you're looking to set up a panel or an HMI, or you're a machine builder and are looking for an inexpensive way to get ignition on all of your items, it makes a ton of sense. Or if you're a large facility and are looking for a way to add redundancy at each of your particular machines, it's also a very good option.
And I think since this is Corso, not inductive automation, I think the best way to frame it is, if you're looking at it from the Rockwell world, Edge is their version of factory talk view machine edition.
Yeah, it's a
So
workstation.
it's like a panel view.
Yeah.
And this is what they talk about in their marketing is this is the ignition equivalent to a panel view.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's going to go on a piece of equipment that will ship with an OEM thing or be used as backup. And then the full-blown ignition system would be the factory talk view supervisory edition.
Yeah.
Or would be like your application server in the Wonderware world compared to just like an InTouch standalone client.
Yeah.
It's kind of that lower tier functionality, lower tier price point for the use cases that works for. It's a great tool.
Yeah, but we should like make the caveat of it's very important for the inductive automation ecosystem to move into this direction so that we can be much more competitive for the machine editions or for items like that, so you can offer a solution at a $2,000 license as opposed to a $20,000 license, especially if there's only a single machine that it's going on.
Right.
And it's also very scalable, very stackable. With the EAM, it easily integrates into all of your other solutions. If you've got any questions, like we say with everything we do, like, please feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to have a conversation with you guys, let you know what we found that has worked, let you know what we found that hasn't worked, and like talk about the use cases of where we found it works and where other people have found that it works, and kind of what we see edges becoming in the future.
I believe you have to put the whatever you called it in the first video when I went off the rails. I believe the Edge license comes with the standard communication modules, so you can communicate with like Allen Bradley and Siemens and Modbus. I believe it comes with that.
I think we called it Real Talk or the real word, or we asked Shane and Shane actually tells us what we were supposed to say on the videos, and then I put it somewhere down here.
But I think it comes with the PLC communication modules.
Interesting.
I don't think that's an additional cost, but
We've never purchased any additional ones.
No, because I think it comes with that, because that is an option that you have to buy with the regular ignition license. You have to buy the communications module.
Interesting. I never considered that. This is why we have our special guest.
But again, that would be a weird use case that
only shows up at the end of our videos. So before we go like way off the rails, we've probably already said thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, smashing the fake like button above our heads, and see you guys soon.
I kind of want to sponsor other people's videos just to do it.
We're one of like 2 people that make videos in this market.
No, just other videos. I'll show you some other channels at some point. There's this, you don't have to include this.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this at the end.
Yeah. Edge license for that.
I think we went backwards. I think we should have explained what the edge panel is.
Oh,
Let's try again.
okay.
So, back to Ignition Explained. Cut 2, 3.